Okay guys, so just a quick kind of primer on how to hook up the ATV to the plow if you ever need it. First things first, when this is in the garage, it will not start unless it's in neutral. So gears in high, there's low, there's neutral, reverse. Just gotta get it into neutral. It'll start right up. Parking brake is usually you'll always want to set that when you're out of the vehicle. Obviously, to take it out, just pull back a little bit and go forward. I'm not going to do that, or it'll roll, but you get the gist of it. When plowing, two-wheel drive should do the trick for you, but obviously if you need to, you just flip that into four-wheel drive. Diff lock puts the front locker on. It has a rear locker on all the time, but you probably are going to be okay just in four-wheel drive. I would keep it in two-wheel drive as long as possible, only because it's going to be easier to steer the front tires if it's not in four-wheel drive, but use the four-wheel drive as you need it. This is headlights, parking light, regular lights off. And so I'm pulled up to the detached garage here, and this is the trickiest part of the whole operation. So is getting this lined up. So I'm not going to fully hook it up here, but essentially, and Steven, I know you probably know this having hooked it up with me the first time, but the trick is that has to slot in to the slot here. It doesn't matter if it's if this is sitting on the outside of this, that's fine. Just got to line up all four holes so the pin can slide through. So this is set right now on some 2x4s. This is exactly the right height, so if I were to pull in further, it would line up exactly, because I just slid those boards in when I had it connected the last time and took it off right at that height, so it should slot right back in. That's what you'll want to do when you take it off, is pull it in here far enough and then just stack boards up, make sure they're tight, then you can pop your pins and back away once you've undone the winch. But speaking of the winch, so let's say you've gotten your pins taken care of, those are installed. I would put the grab part of the pin on the outside, so the driver's side and passenger side facing out, just easier to pull on the pin from the outside. Next is the winch, and down here on the side is the clutch. So right now it's engaged, but if you flip it backwards, that's what allows me to free spool and pull the line, and it just clamps on right there. And then when you're ready to activate it, you would just flip that back so it's engaged. And then the actual remote, if I can get that out of my pocket, where did I put that? It is here. So this is the remote. I just keep it up in that cup holder. To actually activate it, engine has to be running, or the key has to be on. I would not run the winch without the engine running, though, because it puts a pretty serious strain on the battery. But to activate this remote, you just hold down both buttons, and then you see that red light came on, and then it's pretty simple. That's out. That's in. So the left button essentially lowers the plow, the right button would raise it up. So when you've got the winch hooked up, you've got your pins hooked up, you would essentially just raise the plow high enough so that it's not dragging on the ground, and back her out. The only other thing you really need to be aware of is the angle of the plow. This little attachment here allows you to do that. So with the plow in the air, you can just pull this pin up and then slide the plow left to right, you can keep it at the same angle. Essentially, if you go down the driveway one way, come back the other, you can keep the plow at the same angle and never move it. So may not need to even make an adjustment there, but if you do, that's where you would do it. That's pretty much it. When you get back in the garage, like I said, you would just come back here, put this in free spool again so you get a little slack. Take your line off, re-engage the clutch, and bring it back in until it's tight. Back the ATV out, and you're all set. Really pretty simple. Can't really screw it up. So have fun and enjoy.